No one came when I was critical. Except one person. Welcome to Voice of Deborah, where I share true life stories that will leave you speechless. If you love real-life drama and unexpected twists, hit that subscribe button now because today's story will shake you to your core. I should have known something was wrong when my sister Claire showed up at my door with that smile. You know the kind. Too bright, too eager, like she was trying to convince herself more than me. We hadn't spoken in 6 months, not since I'd refused to co-sign another loan for her. But there she was, holding a casserole dish and wearing an expression that screamed I need something. "Sarah, oh my God, I've missed you so much," she said, pushing past me into my apartment. I stood there, hand still on the doorknob, watching her set the dish on my kitchen counter like she owned the place. My gut twisted. That old familiar warning that I'd learned to ignore over the years because, well, she was family. "Claire, what do you want?" She turned, and for a split second, I saw something flicker across her face. Anger. Resentment. But then that smile was back. "Can't a sister just visit? I heard about your promotion at the hospital. Head surgical nurse. I'm so proud of you." The thing is, I hadn't told her about the promotion. I hadn't told anyone in my family except Mom, and Mom had dementia. She wouldn't remember, let alone share it. But what she did next made my blood run cold. "I actually came because I need a tiny favor," Claire said, pulling out her phone. "Nothing major. Just need you to add my name to your bank account. Temporarily. For tax purposes." I laughed. Actually laughed. "You're joking, right?" Her smile tightened. "I'm dead serious. Look, I'm getting audited, and if they see all my money in one account, they'll take everything. I just need to park some funds somewhere safe for a few months. You're my sister. You'd do this for me." "No." The word hung in the air between us like a grenade. Claire's face transformed. The mask slipped, and what I saw underneath made me take a step back. Pure, concentrated hatred. "You selfish bitch," she hissed. "You've always thought you were better than me. Perfect Sarah, with her perfect job and her perfect life. Get out." She grabbed her casserole dish. I noticed she didn't leave it and stormed toward the door. But before she left, she turned back. "You're going to regret this." The door slammed so hard my favorite picture frame fell off the wall. I should have called the police right then. Should have documented the threat. But she was my sister, and despite everything, part of me still loved her. That mistake almost cost me my life. 3 days later, I woke up in my own bed, unable to breathe. Not metaphorically. Literally. My throat was closing, my tongue swelling, my vision blurring. I managed to grab my phone, my fingers fumbling as I dialed 911, but the words wouldn't come out. Just horrible wheezing sounds. I collapsed on my bedroom floor, phone clutched in my hand, thinking this is it, this is how I die. Then I heard it. My apartment door crashing open. Heavy footsteps running toward my bedroom. Strong hands lifting me. A voice I didn't recognize shouting, "Stay with me. Don't you dare give up." An EpiPen stabbed into my thigh. The relief was instant but incomplete. I was conscious enough now to see my rescuer, a man in his 50s with graying hair and paramedic patches on his uniform. But he wasn't supposed to be there. The 911 operator hadn't even answered my call yet. "How did you?" I croaked. "Save your strength," he said, already calling for an ambulance on his radio. But what he said next changed everything. "Your sister called this in 20 minutes ago. Said you were having an allergic reaction." I felt ice water pour through my veins. "What?" The paramedic, his name tag read Davidson, looked confused. "Your sister Claire." She called 911 from a payphone, said her sister Sarah was going into anaphylactic shock and gave this address. Said she'd put peanut oil in your shampoo by accident and realized it too late. That you're deathly allergic. I am deathly allergic to peanuts. The kind of allergy where even skin contact can trigger a reaction. And I hadn't used that shampoo bottle yet. It was a new one, still sealed, that I'd bought yesterday and left on my bathroom counter. Claire had been in my apartment 3 days ago. Alone in my bathroom while I'd answered a phone call. My own sister had tried to kill me. But if she wanted me dead, why would she call 911? The hospital kept me for observation. Detective Rodriguez came by that evening, a tired-looking woman with sharp eyes that missed nothing. Miss Kennedy, your sister's 911 call probably saved your life. But some things aren't adding up. Mind if I ask a few questions? I told her everything. The visit, the request for bank account access, the threat, a shampoo. Rodriguez's expression darkened. Do you have any idea why your sister might need money urgently? Enough to risk a murder charge. Claire's always needed money. She's been in debt since college. Bad investments, gambling, I don't really know the details. I'll look into it. Rodriguez handed me her card. In the meantime, do you have somewhere safe to stay? Family, friends. I thought about calling Mom, but her facility wouldn't allow it. My friends were all work colleagues who lived across town. And something told me I needed to stay close, to figure out what Claire was really planning. I'll be fine, I lied. But what I discovered in my apartment that night made me wish I'd left when I had the chance. I got home around midnight, jumpy at every shadow. My apartment felt violated, unsafe. I walked through each room, checking windows, locks, closets. That's when I found it. In my nightstand drawer, underneath my journal, was a life insurance policy I'd never seen before. My name, my forged signature dated 3 weeks ago. Beneficiary, Claire Kennedy. $2 million. My hands shook as I pulled out my laptop and started digging. It took me 20 minutes to hack into my own email. I'd noticed some messages were marked as read that I'd never opened, and what I found there made my stomach turn. Emails from an insurance company I'd never contacted. Automated confirmations. Policy documents. All of it forwarded to an email address I didn't recognize, then deleted from my inbox. Claire hadn't just tried to kill me. She'd spent weeks planning it, preparing to cash in on my death. But there was something else in those emails. Something that didn't make sense. A message from Claire to the mystery email address. He says we have to wait until after the policy's contestability period ends. 2 more weeks, then we move forward. Who the hell was he? I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I called Detective Rodriguez at 3 a.m. You need to see this, I said. She arrived at my apartment 40 minutes later with a forensics team. While they photographed the policy documents and combed through my bathroom for evidence, Rodriguez sat across from me at my kitchen table. The email address Claire was communicating with, Rodriguez said, showing me her tablet. It belongs to someone named Kenneth Howell. Does that name mean anything to you? I shook my head. He's a former insurance adjuster who lost his license 5 years ago for fraud. Been in and out of prison. And according to phone records, he and your sister have been in contact for almost 2 months. So he's her accomplice. More than that. Rodriguez pulled up a photo. Kenneth Howell is also your sister's boyfriend. Has been for the past year according to social media. She kept it very quiet. I stared at the photo. Kenneth was thin, weasel-faced, with cold eyes that made my skin crawl. This was the man who'd helped my sister plan my murder. We'll bring them both in for questioning, Rodriguez said. But what she told me next made me realize the danger wasn't over. The thing is, Miss Kennedy, we don't have enough for an arrest yet. The policy documents are suspicious, but your sister could claim you agreed to it and forgot. The peanut oil, we're testing the shampoo bottle, but if it comes back clean, all we have is her 911 call saving your life. And the emails could have been hacked. So I'm just supposed to wait until she tries again. Rodriguez's expression was grim. We'll put surveillance on your sister. But legally, our hands are tied until we have solid proof of intent. The fact that she called 911 suggests she might have changed her mind. Or she panicked. Or that. I spent the next 3 days looking over my shoulder, jumping at every sound. The forensics team found trace amounts of peanut protein in my shampoo bottle, but a defense attorney could argue contamination at the factory. It wasn't enough. Claire knew it too. She didn't contact me, didn't try anything obvious. But I could feel her out there waiting, planning. Then on the fourth day, I received a text from an unknown number. Come to Mom's old house. Loan. PM tonight. If you want answers. It was obviously a trap. Which is exactly why I had to go. Mom's old house had been sitting empty since we'd moved her into the memory care facility 6 months ago. It was a small ranch-style home on the edge of town, surrounded by trees, isolated. Perfect for murder. I told Rodriguez about the text. She wanted to send in a full tactical team, but I convinced her to hold back. If Claire and Kenneth saw police, they'd run, and we'd never prove anything. Instead, Rodriguez fitted me with a wire and positioned plainclothes officers in the woods surrounding the property. You just need to get them talking, she said. Get a confession on tape. Can you do that? I thought about Claire's face when she'd called me selfish. The hatred in her eyes. The peanut oil she'd mixed into my shampoo. Yeah, I said. I can do that. I arrived at the house at 7:55 p.m. The porch light was on. Claire signaled that she was inside. I checked my wire one last time, took a deep breath and walked through the front door. Claire was waiting in Mom's old living room. But she wasn't alone. Kenneth Howell stood beside her, and he was holding a gun. Sarah, Claire said, and her voice was almost sad. I really hoped you wouldn't come. Funny because you invited me. Kenneth laughed, a sharp, ugly sound. She's got guts, I'll give her that. Most people would have run. What do you want? I kept my voice steady, trying to remember everything Rodriguez had coached me on. Get them talking. Keep them calm. Get the confession. What do I want? Claire's sadness evaporated, replaced by that same burning resentment I'd seen before. I want what should have been mine. What you stole from me. I never stole anything from you. Mom's house. This house. She promised it to me when I was 16. Said it would be mine when she passed. But then you became the golden child, perfect nurse Sarah. And suddenly the will changed. Everything to you. Nothing for me. I felt like I'd been slapped. Mom has dementia, Claire. She doesn't even remember who we are half the time. And the house isn't even sold yet. We were supposed to split everything. Lies. Claire's face contorted. You manipulated her. You always manipulated everyone. Well, not this time. Kenneth stepped forward, the gun now pointed directly at my chest. Here's how this is going to work. You're going to sign a document transferring all your assets to your loving sister. Then you're going to write a suicide note. And then you're going to shoot me and make it look self-inflicted. But what Kenneth said next made my blood run cold. Actually, Kenneth said, smiling, we're going to make it look like a home invasion gone wrong. Much more believable. Tragic nurse murdered in her mother's old house while checking on the property. Your sister will be devastated. Claire pulled out her phone. I'm already drafting the Facebook post. I can't believe my beautiful sister is gone. We just reconnected after so long. You called 911 when I had the allergic reaction, I said, playing for time. Why save me just to kill me now? Claire's expression flickered. That was a mistake. Panic. Kenneth was supposed to be there to make sure you died, but he was late, and I heard you fall and You got scared, I finished. Because deep down you're not a killer. Not really. Shut up, Claire screamed. You don't know anything about what I am. Do you know what it's like living in your shadow? Perfect Sarah the nurse. Sarah who makes 6 figures. Sarah who Mom actually remembers sometimes. I'm drowning in debt, living in a shitty apartment, working 3 jobs, and you just get everything. So you decided to kill me for an insurance payout. Kenneth shrugged. $2 million is a good start. Plus whatever assets you've accumulated, this house when we sell it. Claire deserves it after everything you've put her through. I looked at my sister, really looked at her. The dark circles under her eyes. The weight she'd lost. The desperation radiating off her like heat. Claire, I said softly. It's not too late. Put down Kenneth's gun. We can fix this. I'll help you with the debt. We can. No. Claire's hand shot out, and suddenly she was holding a gun too. Her hands shook, tears streaming down her face. You don't get to be the hero this time. You don't get to save me. I'm taking what's mine. That's when everything went wrong. The front door exploded inward. Police! Drop your weapons! Kenneth spun, firing wildly. I dove behind Mom's old couch as chaos erupted. Gunshots, shouting, glass shattering. When I looked up, Kenneth was on the ground, clutching his shoulder, screaming. 2 officers had him pinned. But Claire was running. I didn't think. Just moved. Out the back door, into the yard, chasing my sister through the darkness. Behind me I heard Rodriguez shouting my name, but I couldn't stop. Claire stumbled at the tree line, and I tackled her. We went down hard, rolling through leaves and dirt. The gun she'd been holding flew into the darkness. Stop! I pinned her down, both of us breathing hard. Please, Claire. Just stop. She was crying. Not the angry tears from before, but deep, wrenching sobs that shook her whole body. I'm so tired, she whispered. I'm so tired of being the failure. The disappointment. The one who always needs help. I felt my own tears coming. You're my sister. You're not a failure. You made mistakes. We can fix this. No. Claire's voice was hollow. No, we can't. I tried to kill you, Sarah. I mixed peanut oil into your shampoo knowing you'd die. Kenneth said it would be quick, painless. But when I heard you fall, I couldn't do it. I couldn't let you die. Rodriguez appeared above us, other officers spreading through the woods. Sarah stepped back. I looked at my sister one last time. At the person she'd become, or maybe the person she'd always been underneath. I'm sorry, Claire whispered as they pulled her to her feet and cuffed her. I'm so sorry. But what the police found in Kenneth's apartment would reveal this went even deeper than I knew. Turns out I was victim number 3. Kenneth Howell had a history. 2 previous girlfriends who died under suspicious circumstances, both with insurance policies Kenneth had helped them set up. Both deaths ruled accidents. Both times Kenneth had walked away with nothing. The families had contested the policies, and the insurance companies had refused to pay. This time he'd been more careful, more patient. He'd found Claire, broken and desperate, and twisted her grief and jealousy into something dark. Convinced her that killing me was justice, not murder. He's a predator, Rodriguez told me at the station. He finds vulnerable women, usually with family members who have money or assets, and manipulates them into murder plots. Your sister was just his latest victim in a way. That doesn't excuse what she did. No, Rodriguez agreed. It doesn't. Claire pleaded guilty to attempted murder and fraud. Kenneth got life without parole. Claire got 15 years, eligible for parole in 10. I visited her once in prison. She looked smaller somehow, older. The hatred was gone, replaced by something worse. Emptiness. I don't expect you to forgive me, she said through the glass partition. I know. But I need you to understand. Kenneth didn't make me do anything. He just helped me see what I already wanted. Deep down, part of me has hated you since we were kids. It was the most honest thing she'd ever said to me. But here's the twist I never saw coming. 6 months after the trial, I got a letter from paramedic Davidson, the man who'd saved my life that first time. Inside was a confession that made me question everything. Dear Ms. Kennedy, I need to tell you the truth. I didn't just happen to be near your apartment that day. I was already there, parked across the street, because your sister had paid me $5,000 to wait exactly 20 minutes after she called 911 before going inside. She wanted you to suffer, to think you were dying, but she couldn't go through with actually killing you. So she hired me to be her safety net. I'm a real paramedic, but I was off duty. I agreed because the money was good, and she said it was just a prank between sisters. I didn't know about the peanut allergy. Didn't know it was attempted murder until later. By then, I'd already saved your life, and I figured coming forward would just complicate things. But I can't live with this anymore. I'm turning myself in to the police today. Your sister tried to kill you, yes. But she also couldn't let you die. I think that's important. I'm sorry for my part in this. James Davidson. I sat there holding that letter for a long time. Claire had tried to murder me. But at the last second, she'd arranged for someone to save me. She'd wanted me to suffer, to feel what she felt. Helpless, terrified, alone. But she hadn't been able to cross the final line. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. It's been 2 years now. I still work at the hospital. Still live in the same apartment, though I had the locks changed and installed a security system. Mom passed away 6 months ago. She died peacefully in her sleep in the memory care facility. At the funeral, I was the only family member present. I thought about getting permission for Claire to attend in handcuffs, but decided against it. Some wounds run too deep. The house sold last year. I split the proceeds with Claire, put her half into a trust she can access when she gets out. She gets out. People ask me why I did that. Why I didn't cut her off completely. The truth is, I don't really know. Maybe because she's my sister, and blood means something even when it shouldn't. Maybe because I understood on some level what it feels like to be drowning while everyone assumes you're fine. Or maybe because the person who saved my life wasn't the police, wasn't the justice system, wasn't some stranger. It was Claire herself. In her own twisted, broken way, she couldn't let me die. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if she just asked for help instead of letting Kenneth poison her mind. If I'd been a better sister, more aware of how much she was struggling. But those questions don't have answers. So here's what I learned from almost being murdered by my own sister. Trust your instincts. When someone shows you who they are, believe them, but also understand that people are complicated. Sometimes the same person can hate you and love you in the same breath. Family isn't automatically sacred. Blood doesn't excuse abuse, manipulation, or attempted murder. You don't owe anyone your safety, not even your sister. But also, pain makes people do terrible things. That doesn't excuse those things, but understanding the why can help you heal. I chose forgiveness of a sort. Not the kind where we have Sunday dinners and pretend nothing happened. But the kind where I can sleep at night knowing I did what I could with what I had. Your choices might be different, and that's okay too. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt betrayed by family or struggled with that impossible balance between loyalty and self-preservation, leave a comment below. Share your story. You're not alone. And please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Voice of Deborah, because every week I share true life stories that will make you think, feel, and question everything you thought you knew about family, trust, and survival. The notification bell is right there. Don't miss the next story. Because sometimes the person who tries to destroy you and the person who saves you are one and the same. And that's the hardest truth of all. Thanks for listening. This is Deborah, and remember, your story matters, your safety matters, and you deserve better than living in fear. Take care of yourselves out there.